The other enemies that Quavo and Offset should be focusing their attention on is mob ties, or, you know, more specifically, the Prince family. Jay Prince Jr., maybe even Jazz Prince. Even though, you know, Jay Prince said Jazz and Quavo was homies, Death in the Family can kind of change that. So the Prince family went on $1 million worth of game, Gillian Wallow's podcast, to pretty much try to clear their name of this whole Takeoff situation. Ever since Takeoff's murder, and it was one of the guys, Lil Cam, who's part of Mob Ties, Jay Prince's group or gang or whatever you want to call it, crew. Prince family, Mob Ties, they've been getting a bad rep for everybody outside of Houston. You know, and we've been hearing the stories for years about Jay Prince in Houston, how he shakes people down, tries to get artists to pay him for performing in Houston, getting people to pay him for protection out there, you know, quote unquote checking in to make sure that it's good to be in Houston, and kind of ruling that place with an iron fist, you know, having control of it. A lot of people saying the way that Jay Prince Jr. and the other people that were part of Mob Ties handled the Takeoff situation after Lil Cam allegedly shot him. I don't know if it's a lot of debate or a lot of talk. So I don't know what's well known or what's still alleged, but pretty much, you know, since the death of Takeoff, people have been saying the Prince family just weren't handling it well. Seemed like they were uncaring. When they had a memorial for Takeoff, which became more of like them trying to defend themselves, and even in this interview they did with Gillian Wallow on $1 million worth of game, it was more of passing the buck over to the Migos people, and you know, Quavo's boy. I don't know if that's really his brother or they just call each other brothers, but Migo Bands, who was the guy who kind of started the issue, or who started the physical altercation. So if you've seen the video, Quavo's upset going off. Lil Cam is kind of apologizing. I guess they had some words. Lil Cam's trying to smooth it over. Quavo's still upset. And then according to Jay Prince, you know, Migo Bands kind of swung on Lil Cam, and Lil Cam aired out the spot. And of course, one of those bullets ended up hitting Takeoff, who actually had nothing to do with the fight. So you got Jay Prince going on the podcast, you know, retelling the story. He's got the police report that has, you know, Migo Bands on there talking about the whole situation, and talking about the whole situation to the police, giving his testimony. Jay Prince calling him a snitch, although what is Jay Prince doing? Because he's kind of giving more details than was known. But anyway, he's putting it on that man, saying that it wasn't their side that caused the issue. It is not their side's fault that Takeoff is dead. It's actually Quavo's camp's fault that Takeoff is dead, though he wasn't putting anything on Quavo. Next said they were supportive of Quavo. They was there for him, took him to the hospital, and they was rocking with him. And Jay Prince even said that Quavo would say the same thing when he finally comes out and talks about it. Jay Prince even had some smoke for Offset, and said Offset, he been hearing that, he been talking about him. Jay Prince said, don't make me have to defend myself. That won't be healthy for you, talking to Offset. So there's some beef between them and there. Offset, of course, responded and said what a lot of people were thinking, which was, yo, why do you keep having interviews? Why do y'all keep talking about this? This is what Offset's saying. Offset's like, yo, the family ain't even said nothing. Y'all just keep having things to say. And that's kind of the sentiment that the fans have been taking. And I don't know what Jay Prince and, you know, Mob Ties and Prince family thought was going to happen, but they are looking like the bad guy. And this whole interview seemed very staged, very rehearsed. You know, Wallow and Gilly really wasn't giving too much a comeback, really wasn't focusing on a lot of details they should have been focused on. And it really seemed like this was just, hey, we just want to come and give like pretty much a statement. And they're trying to switch the narrative to target, you know, Quavo's camp, Migo Bands himself, and trying to put more of the attention on, or put more of the blame on them, and take it off of Lil Cam, who is the guy who was in custody, right? Now, of course, the whole situation could have been avoided. There was no need for all that violence and fighting and all that. I do agree 100% with Jay Prince on that, but at the end of the day, it was your guy who shot the gun, who took the life, and I get that somebody on your side was hurt too, but you can't look at these people and be like, well, y'all gotta be okay with it because we lost somebody too. No, It was y'all guy at the end of the day. And his lack of accountability, Jay Prince's lack of accountability really hurt him, I believe, in the eyes of the people, because fans seem to be siding with Quavo and Offset, even if Quavo and Offset aren't siding with each other. And I'm curious what Quavo has to say, if and or when he does finally say something, if he will agree with Jay Prince and the Prince family's account of what happened, or if he's gonna be like, that's not at all what I see. And because I don't think that Quavo's gonna turn on his mans. I don't know, but I know that this does not work out in their favor. I know that Takeoff, or that Offset wants to smoke, it seemed like. I just hope that don't nothing further come from this and everybody shut their mouth. It's still an open case.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.